Hello, and welcome to the podcast formerly known as Hey Coach. We are rebranding officially to our new podcast, Ripland with Strickland. We are now going to be ripping packs on this podcast exclusively. Today, we have one pack of Topps updated series for 2025, PCA on the cover. Let's go ahead and get into this guy, Cubs legend. Let's go ahead and get into this. Ooh, hold on. Hold on, I see something fun already. Okay, we got a rookie Kobe Mayo, that's fun. I can't read any of these.
You guys remember
Thomas Harrington.
Paz, shut up! I'm ripping a pack. Brandon Young.
I watched that guy pitch. That guy stinks.
What's this one?
Yorbit Vivas.
Okay. Scrub. Ty France.
Also scrub.
Landon Root.
Judge.
It's Aaron Judge.
All right, my kids can go to college.
Paxton Schultz.
Okay. Ooh, Chapman.
Oh, there's your guy Chappie.
Yeah. Ooh, back-to-back horizontal.
Oof.
Okay, let's just go ahead and skip past that one. Is that
Is
Lawrence
it
Bartley?
Denzel Clark?
Oh, Denzel Clark.
That dude's a freak, man.
Oh. Hold on.
Ooh, this is a fun one. Color match.
Would you just turn it around so we can see?
Bop.
Yeah, the centering's terrible.
Shut up, dude. Fucking nerd.
Is that numbered?
That's foil too. That's a fun card.
Is that numbered?
1 of 10.
I was gonna say that's out of 10. That's a good card.
No, it's not out of 10. I wish.
Oh, boo.
If it was out of 10, I'd end this podcast right now. I'd be on a plane to the Maldives. So that's fun. And then we have Poo Poo Stinky Pants himself, stars of the MLB.
Oh, well, congrats on your engagement, Jazz.
Yeah. Nope. 2 fun cards there. 2 fun cards.
No, the Kobe Mayo's soft. It's not fun. He complained about not making the Orioles at 10. You guys remember that as spring training?
That's fun.
It is, but
yeah, it's a fun card. Don't be jealous.
Wild.
Yeah, well, thank you for tuning into another episode of Ripland with Strickland. We'll see you next time when I convince my wife to buy me more packs.
And there he goes. All right, well, I guess we can just get into our Hall of Fame ballots.
This podcast just got better. What'd you say?
That was the crazy thing about these headphones, Paz. They're loud and words hurt. But yeah, no. Welcome to the Hey Coach podcast. I am Ryan Strickland, joined as always by head coach Michael Langston of the NAU Jacks and Coach Tyler Pasley, head coach of both the Culver's competitive eating team and Payson High School.
I haven't had Culver's in a while.
God's country, dude.
Good stuff.
I saw the other day somebody went on like What's Up Flagstaff, which is like a Flagstaff Facebook page, and was like, hey, where's the best burger in town? The number 1 comment was just Culver's.
That was good.
Get your English muffin buns out of my face. Okay.
I love English muffins.
Yeah, I do too, just not on a burger, especially when the meat is disproportionate to the bun, like the size. You know what I mean? But yeah, welcome back to Hey Coach. If you're listening to this on upload day, happy New Year's Eve. You made it to the end of 2025. Congratulations. Guys, how we doing?
I read my 13th book yesterday. 13th book of the year.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Getting 20 this year, or next year.
20?
Yeah, getting 20. Yeah.
Paz is finally going to crack into the second half of the Magic Treehouse series. Good for you, buddy.
I definitely finished all those when I was a kid. Those were elite. And Hardy Boys.
Langston, how are you?
I'm good, man. Yeah, family's been in town for about a week now. And, yeah, happy to be on the pod with you guys.
Good. We're glad to have you, too. With this being our last episode of 2025, at least recording-wise, we wanted to do something fun. Langston got some fun stuff for Christmas, and we wanted to join in. Langston, show the YouTube viewers what you got. Got Captain Giggles over here.
Sorry.
That is a true to film Ricky Vaughn jersey back when the Cleveland Indians were the Cleveland Indians.
Oh yes.
Which awesome jersey, by the way. Very nice.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Thank
so we
you.
decided
The haircut.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Old veg.
Yeah. All right, Paz, what do you got on? Because we joined in.
ASU 12.
Yeah, stand up and give us a spin.
Stand up, give us a spin.
Well, this isn't new. I didn't get any jerseys
That's
for
okay.
Christmas.
That's okay.
So.
Show the folks at home what is below the camera.
Well,
yeah, there
no,
we go.
and then, yeah.
Yep. Okay.
The
Very
back
nice.
just has a number.
Nice.
No name.
Nice. I am wearing
And
the
strict.
I'm wearing the 2025 NAU Jacks faux vest, white and blue.
Yeah.
Pretty solid.
True Nepo baby. Wear your own jersey.
That's not what a nepo baby is.
All right.
God, all the books you read, you think you know that. Apparently, not one of your 13 books had the word nepotism in them, but
No, probably not.
yeah, that's why I don't read. But no. So welcome back, gentlemen. Good to see everybody. Today we kind of have a interesting, maybe the right word to use here. It's an interesting topic, and it's something that a lot of coaches may try to avoid, or a lot of coaches may try to not care about. Like they're okay living with it. They're okay living without it. They kind of remain neutral on this. But I think it's something that can honestly help take a program, maybe not to the next level, but it can definitely elevate everything in the program, right? Like having this may not necessarily take you from a state, a state competitor to a state champion, but it does something that makes it is something that makes the program better, which is parent support. And what does that do for you as a coach? And we can even kind of expand into the realm of, hey, what happens when all the parents buy in? What does that do for the players? Blah, blah, blah. Because as much as some people may not like to admit it, parents and their support are a very important part of any program, regardless of what level, what sport you're coaching. Parent support can be pretty huge. So let me ask you guys this. The first part of this two-part question is very simply, what does parent support do for you as a coach? So we'll go Paz because he's unmuted. But Paz, what does parent support do for you as a coach?
It makes things feel better, for sure. Like I think the mental. I've coached strict the year without getting super in depth. The year that we had the JV team was one of the toughest years in terms of just parents. It was tough. It took emotionally, mentally, it just kind of hangs over you a little bit when constantly you're hearing whether you can block it all you want. At some point, it does take a little bit of a dig at you. And it got to me that year, and we were really good. We had a good group of kids. It was a fun year. But it takes a toll, and the season's fast, and it's a grind. Flip that to that next summer where we're all coaching NASBA together. Parents were great. It was fantastic. We did a cookout to start the year, and all parents showed up at 8 and Strick undercooked a burger. We did weekly dinners at tournament weekends, and a lot of the parents showed up, and we did the Colorado Rockies game where all the parents showed up. When you have the buy-in, it just feels like the whole thing runs smoother. When you don't have the buy-in, it just inherently makes things a little bit tougher. Where I'm currently at in Payson, it's my first year, so I haven't met really any of the parents, so I can't really speak on my situation. In the fall, though, I had a lot of parents tell me, hey, if you need us to cook or anything when we play games, which as we have mentioned, we didn't play. But when you guys were going to come down, I had a parent reach out and say, hey, do you want me to bring the smoker out to the field and I'll smoke something for everybody? And and I was like, yeah, that'd be great. How much do I owe you? He goes, don't worry about it. Just keep teaching our boys the game. And I'm like, oh, okay, perfect. So little things like that make such a huge impact, because it almost And not that it takes a weight off your shoulders, but it just like that feeling of, hey, we're so bought into what you're doing, we can help you with that little stuff. Like it makes a huge difference mentally, I think. Um, I think that a lot of coaches have more they have more experience on the negative end of things, but I'll stop for now and I'll let Mike go. And then, because I had some questions for you guys off of this, but I would say the buy in just makes the whole thing run smoother. It kind of takes the proverbial weight off your shoulders, but I'll kind of stop there and let Mike go.
Yeah, I think it frees you up to kind of coach the team however you think is going to make the team the most successful. Because you do have guys that, maybe they're not playing as much, and maybe they're not getting the opportunities that they feel they deserve. And if you have the parent buy-in, like those are the people that these kids are going home and they're talking to on like a regular basis about like, why am I not playing? I want to be playing. And if you have buy-in from parents, to kind of, I don't want to say they just need to have your back, but to explain to them. I mean, like when I was growing up, my dad basically would, I would have been mortified if he had gone and talked to the coaches for me, but he was very much as a coach himself. Hey, if you want to be playing, if you want to get into the lineup, then you need to go talk to coach and figure out what you need to be doing to get into the lineup. And so if you have parents like that are, willing to kind of put some of the onus back on their own kid and the work that they're putting in, as opposed to just playing the blame game and blaming you for everything that's going wrong or perceived wrong in their kids' careers, it can really free you up to put the program in the best position to succeed. As opposed to, on the flip side, if you have parents that are causing, that are, one sec. If you have parents that are causing problems, making a stink out of their kid not playing or whatever the case may be, it can just cause a divide, even within the team itself. Right? Because kids are being told by their parents that they're the best and they should be playing. And then their parents are making a big deal about how their kids should be playing. And so you have parents who maybe don't think that way that kind of ostracize that parent. And you have kids that maybe don't feel that way that can ostracize that player. And you can create divides within your team of kind of 2 or 3 or more different teams when it should be one team and everybody pulling at the same end of the rope. So I don't know. I hit you with a lot of stuff. There's obviously people in my house and a bunch of stuff going on. So I'm a little scattered, but there's a couple points as to what kind of parent support can do for you.
A rare instance of Mike Langston being yipped up by external factors. Usually this man is unshakable, but today we have seen that he can be shaken. But no, I agree with both of what you guys said. I'm not going to take a shot at parents here, but I'm just going to, if there's a parent out there listening or, something like that, what Mike said is very true because we've all seen it from the player side and from like a coaching side. We've been a player on a team where, Jimmy isn't getting the playing time and he's just, running his math about everything and everyone just kind of starts to separate from Jimmy. And we've also seen it on the coaching side where, parents, like Mike said, make a stink and then parent kind of gets, pushed to the side. The kid kind of follows them, or maybe it's a couple parents, right? Maybe it's like 2 or 3 kids. None of them are playing. So those parents kind of form up. I don't really think parents truly understand how much of a daily impact their actions and their words have on their athletes. Like you can truly, as a parent, you can make your kid's time a lot harder than it needs to be. Like I've seen parents who were very realistic about their athletes' abilities and didn't complain. They were just happy that their son was on a team. Their son was, making friends, having fun. And their kid didn't play all that much, but they were happy. And, it just made kind of a better environment for that athlete specifically, because then when that kid got into the game, everyone was excited for them. Everyone was pumped for them to get that opportunity. And it didn't feel like the coach was doing it just to kind of keep the parents, at bay. It was like, oh, like this is the whole team, rallying around this one kid and their opportunity. So if there's a parent out there and you're, trying to figure out what line to toe when it comes to, the relationship you have with your kid's coach, always toe on the side of making it easier for your athlete. And I don't mean easier by like less struggle. I mean, like, just don't be a problem. Like don't be a problem. Just let your kid go out there, figure it out for themselves. 90% of these kids, right, aren't going to see, any quality baseball. Most, maybe 90 is too high.
No,
Say high.
It's higher than 90.
Okay, so I'm not too far off, but you know what I mean? Like, let the kids enjoy the game. If your kid doesn't have a problem with what's going on, you shouldn't have a problem. That's just kind of my take on it.
I do have something that you kind of triggered in my mind. It was, as a parent, if you feel that your kid is not playing enough or getting the opportunities that you deserve, I would advise against going directly to the coach and talking to them. I would advise you to tell your kid to go talk to their coach to see what they can do to get in the lineup. If you feel like that is not an option for you, and you have to talk to the coach because your kid is not getting the playing time that you feel they deserve, do not do it in front of people. Try to set a time to sit down, have a meeting, a one-on-one, and hash it out, right? Don't go in there with the attitude of, why is my kid not playing? My kid should be playing more. The conversation should very much be, what can my kid do to get into the lineup? And again, this isn't something that you do publicly, because as soon as you do it publicly, you've undermined trust in the coaching staff. You've undermined your own credibility as a parent to the other parents, to the coaching staff, to your own kid. You need to be an adult. And if you feel like you need to have a conversation with a coach, that's something you do one-on-one, and you do away from the field where maybe emotions aren't so high. So if I was going to give advice, that's the direction I would go. And it just reminded me when Strick was talking.
Mike, don't mute yourself yet. And Pazzy, if you want to answer this too, that's fine. But at what age do you think kids need to start going to the coach?
Early.
As early as possible.
Yeah.
Like little, like we're talking like coach's pitch, like, well, coach's pitch everybody plays, but like what is that age?
I think when it gets to a point where you're pretty much running your best nine out there and you're trying to win baseball games, so you could say maybe like
heading into high school, like middle school,
11 or 12.
Yeah, I think probably later into Little League, like 11, okay. 12 years old. Because at those ages, like you still have some mandatory play requirements.
Yeah.
But the play requirements are super small. It's like 3 outs in the field and an at bat or something like that, right? So yeah. I think if you want to be playing more, that's something that you can get your kid started on early. Hey, coach, what can I do to play more? What can I improve on to get into the lineup? And taking that initiative early, and it's almost like practice, right? It's practice for those later ages where like it's an uncomfortable conversation to have, like as a player to an adult. Like imagine, we're all about 30 years old and you're a 14, 15-year-old kid that you're an adult to these kids. And like we know each other a lot differently, but like you're an authority figure and you're an adult to these players. And so it's an uncomfortable conversation for them, when to us it's pretty straightforward of like, we need to see you have better plate discipline or whatever it is, right? So I think the earlier that you can start that habit, the better setup for success they'll be in the long run.
Yeah,
Which
it needs to be the structure of things here compared to Illinois is much different. Where like I have almost zero familiarity with Little League, other than I think it's kind of a joke at times. I know some of it, like I know there's the required play. I think that's great though for that age because
I was,
your
I was
studs
gonna
in
say,
Little
what are you
League.
wanting? What are you wanting Little League to be?
I
Like if
think
it's
well here
like if it's a
here's right.
joke, like it's little kid baseball. Like
Yeah,
it does
I
it
think
does what it needs to do.
it doesn't at all. I think it does for the good little leagues, but I think when you just have, this is not me taking a shot. This is just how different it was where I grew up. It's
Another
not. It's
hold
not.
on,
It's
hold
not.
on.
Yeah.
Let it be known that Paz is taking another shot at a major worldwide brand. Go ahead, Paz.
No,
We
I'm
now
not at
have
all.
we
I'm
now
not at
have
all.
Make a Wish, PBR, Little League, go.
PBR. Yeah, well, PBR. Everybody knows the PBR thing. Come on. Um, the problem is that the coaches are not put in a good position to succeed at all. There's no training because if you let's just call a spade a spade, most coaches do not want to coach little league. I know I don't. I know you two don't. So that leaves you with who? It's mostly dads, and the problem with that is that they have a full time job. They're probably just helping out their kid because there was nobody else to coach. Like most little league coaches that I am familiar with, I'm not going to speak for everybody, are just dads who maybe played a little bit or maybe didn't play at all, but their kid needs an experience to go play. They're probably not going to be in a great position to succeed and get the development they need and maybe even the equipment they need. Like part of that is on Little League for providing more structure for their coaches. I think that's a problem across the board though with all like youth baseball organizations. It's tough because some of these kids, like let's just go to the Valley, these kids that play Little League and club ball, what do you think that kid's going to like more? It's not going to be Little League. It's going to be a completely different experience that they're getting. Go ahead.
Maybe. But if they're not playing on their club ball team and they're one of the better players on their little league team and they're getting to
Sure.
play every day,
Sure.
then which one do you think they're going to like more, right? I think it depends
Yeah.
on the experience that they're having, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where you get a little bit of the disconnect is like, well, I'm the best player on my little league team, but I'm not playing on my club ball team. Why am I not playing?
Yeah.
And that's when your
Yeah.
parents get upset, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I just wanted to throw that
No,
out there. Go ahead.
That's fair. I do think now though, with how many club opportunities there is, I think most kids are probably getting an opportunity to play. Not all, but I think that there's just so many opportunities now that I think club ball's probably a little bit watered down even. But like that's the coaching part, and again, I'm not blaming the coaches. Like oftentimes they just need somebody to be there, and that's just how it goes. My big issue with Little League and why I truly think it's a joke, I hate that they don't lead off. That's garbage. They throw from 43 feet on the mound or something. That's also garbage. Like when I was 11 and 12, we were playing I think 54-80 were the dimensions or 48-70. It was I know it was past Little League. When you're 11 and 12, you need to be playing baseball. You need to be leading off. You need to be picking off. Like I think that hinders development a big time. And then when you have parents that are seeing like the Little League product compared to the club ball product, it's just completely different. And there is a place for Little League, but I think the style of it is just I just don't love it. But it wasn't prominent where I grew up, so that's probably a little skewed. Here it's huge, but there was no. I can't even tell you where the closest little league team was from where I grew up. Like we were leading off at 9 and 10 years old, so it's just way different. Like we had that skill set way earlier where I grew up.
I'll say this, Paz. I have never once, and Langston, tell me if I'm wrong. I have never once ever looked at Little League as like a place to like develop. Like for me, Little League was
That's
just
a
like,
problem.
well, Little League is for the little kids. Like you said, it has its place. Like you can go play like little league baseball and end up. I mean, shit, I played little league baseball. I mean, Langston, did you play little league?
Yeah, but I also think I was pretty lucky, like with the coaches that I had in little league. Like,
Yeah, and
we've talked about like Sif on this podcast before. Like that was my little league coach.
Shout out Sif.
And so like it's different because like the coaching for me was there in little league, and like we not only like it was almost like our little league team was our club ball team. Like we also played club ball, and it was all the same guys. So like we were
that's cool.
We were a good club ball team and a dominant little league team.
Yeah.
So like you got almost like double the practices and double the development, and then it like translated to extreme success in little league, where like one year I think we lost like one game. We went like 22-1 or something like that. Like and we were probably a pretty average club ball team, like probably like a 500 club ball team. So yeah, but it's different, right? Like I had played for coaches in little league that were exactly the guy that Paz is talking about, where it's just a dad who stepped up to volunteer because the team needed a coach. And I remember those years as a player who, again, I don't want to like pump myself up, but as a player,
you played Division II baseball, you were good.
Well, but as a player, even when I was like 10, who maybe was a little bit ahead of the curve compared to the average player at that age, like it was frustrating. Like it was frustrating to not have a guy who kind of knew what he was doing, trying to tell me what to do when I knew different. And that was where some of the stuff, like with, you know, where I learned early, like from my parents. Like I had a dad who knew the game better than the guy who was the coach, but my dad didn't have the time to be the coach. But my parents were always, kind of circling back to our original question, my parents were always like, would defer to that coach though. Hey, he's the coach of the team. He's the one making these decisions. You need to go talk to him. And so like, but I agree that the little league product, especially during like regular season and like until you get into like the all-stars and into like the higher level of like you're playing at the state level and it's all the best players in the league, the product's probably not that great on like a local level. But once you get into like a state, national, worldwide level, it's definitely better, right? Like the Little League World Series is aired on ESPN. That's a pretty decent product, but they're not airing the Flagstaff Little League, you know, game in late March or whatever it is. So, or late May.
They should. Shout out Dave Merrill. Shout out Dave Merrill and the Flagstaff Little League.
Let me add some more context too, because Little League and Payson, that's like the only thing they have. They don't have like club ball and Payson. Our would have been 16, so freshmen and sophomores got third place in state in I don't even know, juniors or something. I can't remember. Whatever the height, like the highest, it's the highest high school level. They got third place in state. Went all the way down to Nogales and played in like the state tournament. Like it's a big deal in Arizona. I kind of think all the way through. I don't think the high school piece of it gets a ton of love in the Valley, probably because that's where club ball and all that stuff will take over. But it's the reason that I think I'm so opinionated on it is because I didn't grow up with it. Most of what I've seen of it is not great for players, and then it creates kind of a lack of understanding for parents where, like Mike said, you have a coach that just stepped up, but he might not know what he's doing, and parent doesn't like that coach, and then they go play for a club ball coach who played in the big leagues, and that guy knows, and then go to your high school coach. It's like, oh, well, we just played for this guy. He knows more, so why would I listen to it? Like, it kind of creates that, and I just think that it could be, I don't know. I just have issues with it, and I wish that I grew up with it so I had more knowledge as to why, because it has its place. And I don't really know how I got on that tangent, and I apologize, but but it's very big in Payson. I'm trying to kind of get involved in some capacity because it is so big. And like I know I coach the middle school baseball team, which is your little league. That's where it seems like little league is kind of the biggest, and all of them played little league. Every single one of them. Most of them were all stars or however that works. And I know a lot of them did like the big tournament. Like there was a huge tournament in town right when I moved there. But I would like to try to get more involved in because of how big it is. But it's definitely unique compared to that for sure. I don't remember how I got on that tangent, so I apologize.
Another foundation all about supporting kids. Takes a shot from Coach Paz. Hate to see it.
I wish it
Hate
was.
to see
I wish
it.
that's what it was.
Alrighty. Well, yeah.
So hold on. We all have had this conversation.
Go ahead.
Okay. So let's not act like you're on your Eiffel Towers, buddy. Go ahead, though.
I've never trashed Little League.
Not on camera, because you don't have the cojones.
I've never trashed Little League off camera. I liked Little League. It was fun. I had a good time. Shout out the 2006 Cardinals. I think that was the team we won the championship with that year.
Gross.
05 City Champions, Continental
There we
Diamondbacks.
go. There we go, baby. Was that Sif's team?
Casey was on that team, but
Okay.
I don't think that Sif was like the main coach on it.
Yeah.
Are you saying Sif's not a winner?
He had a real job. No, he was there, but he had a real job. So,
Okay.
Yep.
Alrighty. Sweet. Well,
it might have been 04. I don't remember.
Boy, did we get off. We got off topic bad there, but that's fine. Yeah. That's fun. The original topic was, what does parent support do for you as a coach? I will just echo everything they said. I think we're all pretty much in agreement with that. The second part I want to talk about is what can a new coach do to earn support from the parents? Because as much as there are coaches out there who say, and some of it is very true, there is that line of thing that was like, well, I don't need the parents to like me, which is 100% true. You do not need the parents to like you. You do not need to be everybody's friend. But there is something to be said about still having that support. So whoever wants to go ahead, go ahead. Maybe Langston goes ahead. Maybe we hear Langston for a little bit here about what can you do to earn support from the parents?
Yeah, I think transparency is huge. I think being upfront right out of the gates as to what this is, and being upfront. I mean, you don't necessarily have to have like a parent meeting, but being upfront to the players of like, hey, here's the expectations. Here's how this program is going to be run. Like, you can get on board or you can get off, kind of a thing. And that can kind of make its way back to the parents of like, when their kid isn't playing, when they go to their kid and they say, why aren't you playing? Well, here's the expectations that were set by coach like a long time ago, right? And I'm clearly not meeting those expectations, which no kid is really going to have that direct conversation with their parent. But if their parents are doing what I kind of recommended, which is, well, go talk to coach and see what you can do to get in the lineup, then when that kid comes back and says, hey, coach, what can I do? The answer is basically like, well, you can meet and exceed the expectations that were set at the beginning of the season. Like, that's how you're going to get into the lineup, is by meeting those expectations. Like, we know what kind of baseball we want to play here. We know the kind of players we want to have. Right now, you're not there. Here's how you get there. And so being transparent with the kind of program you want to run, I think goes a long way for parent support, as opposed to just holding everything close to the chest and just kind of walling everybody off. Like, if there's questions, answer them honestly and be as transparent as possible. That would be my biggest thing as a coach.
Yeah, I'll echo all that. I think like one thing for me, being in a small community, I'm going to try to make it feel like a family. And like I know that they've done some things in the past that I would like to continue doing, where like we do I think they do a team breakfast on game days and things like that. And like I would like to try to do like a preseason, like, hey, get everybody together, like, hey, let's have a great year kind of thing. But I think making it feel like a family if you're comfortable with that. I know not all, kind of like Mike said, like you don't need to be their friend. Like that's not what you're there for. You're there to coach and develop their sons and try to give them the best experience possible. But trying to make it feel like family for me is really big in a small community, and just doing little things like, hey, having like a cookout where if the parent cooks if they want to do that, or hey, order pizza like after a practice one day and invite the parents, or like I know one thing I'm going to do is or I'm going to try to do is have like a big program scrimmage before our first game, and like, hey, all parents are welcome, and varsity will go against the JV, or like, well, maybe we'll intertwine teams and just kind of play and invite parents and kind of create a game like atmosphere, have some food, like doing things like that can be big if you're comfortable with it. Again, that's not something everybody's comfortable with, and I don't have a ton to add outside of what Mike said. Like, I think being overly transparent is really big. Like, you do not just say things to say things. Like, be comfortable being honest. Because I think one thing that I've learned in my coaching career is that when a parent has an issue, a lot of times it is player first, not team first. As a coach, you should be thinking team first. As a parent, you're typically thinking about your kid. And that's human nature. That's not a problem by any means. Every parent does that for the most part, but that's a lot of times where conflict can be created. So if there is a conversation that's being had, like, you are thinking team and stick to that, not be like, hey, this is why you're always thinking team first as a coach. So that's a lot of times where conflict can happen. But I'm just a big believer in making it feel like a family. Like, I grew up in a small town and we didn't really do anything like that where, hey, we're going to scrimmage and parents are invited. Like, we didn't do anything like that. We didn't do like any cookouts or anything. Like, I know they do this thing called a sunflower seed scrimmage in Payson where like the parents donate like a bunch of sunflower seeds for the season. Like, they do little things like that, which I think are really cool. So I want to try to continue stuff like that. But Mike really hit the nail on the head there. You just be transparent and be comfortable being transparent. Can I ask you guys a follow up to that?
Can I answer real quick because mine's super
Yes.
short.
Yes.
Short. Okay, thank
Yeah.
you very much.
Yep.
Appreciate the
Yep.
opportunity.
Anyway, so Mike,
so
sorry, go ahead,
something.
Rick.
No, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity. Something super simple that can, again, you don't need them to like you, but something that can get parents to support you, and we've all done it, and I think we'll all do it for as long as we coach, is just thank the parents. Like, thank the parents for showing up. Like, thank them for coming to the games. Thank them for doing this. Thank them for doing that. Like, kind of like what Mike said, you don't need to put up this wall. And if you really try to remind the parents that you're also just a guy, like you're a guy, and part of being a good guy and a good coach and is thanking people for doing stuff. So you know what? Hey, after the game, make your little rounds. Hey, thanks for coming out. Thanks for supporting the boys. We appreciate it. Like, that will do something for you. It may not fix all your problems, but it'll at least go, you know what? Coach shows up. He tries. He thanks us after everything. Like, we appreciate that, because I think we've all seen it where coaches will just avoid parents just like the plague. And it kind of develops that friction of coach doesn't want to talk to parents, coach isn't, doesn't want to be around. But if you just do something as simple as like, hey, thank you for supporting the boys, it can do things for you. It can help you out. Go ahead with your follow-up question, Paz.
I'm going to tell a quick, like the 30-second story about Strick because I have never once done this. When we coached the JV team, we had a 2-hour road trip on a Friday, and we had like all the parents there. We ended up getting a big win, came back and won, or as big of a win as JV can be, but we had a big win, came back and won, and it was really fun. Strick went out and shook the parents' hands and thanked them for coming down. That is the kind of human being he is. I can promise you I've never once done that, and I probably never will after a game that is just not on my mind. But that's the kind of person he is. I will never forget that, because I was talking to my dad. He was there, and I looked down and Strick's shaking hands with all the parents. I'm like, that's good for you, because I that's not in my bag, I don't think. But anyway, kudos to you, Strick. So my follow-up to all this. At times. My follow up to all this, because this is something I think it would be valuable for, because I know we have some players that listen to this and other coaches. What's been your most uncomfortable parent conversation or experience that you've had, and one that you're willing to share? You don't need to be like, you don't need to air anybody out, but what has been your most uncomfortable?
Oh, I'm about to air some people out. No, I'm kidding. No, it was actually that same game. That same game you were talking about. It was down in Mesquite. That was the team we were playing, and I remember it was just going around saying thank you. Yeah, whatever they are down. Okay, what are they? The Thunder, Mesquite Thunder.
They're the Squirrels, I believe. No, they're the Wildcats. Wildcats, I
Down,
think.
down, Squirrel Wildcats. But no, I was going around and I was thanking parents and blah blah blah, and I remember just a lady, two older ladies, and I was like, "Hey, thanks for coming, blah blah blah. Appreciate you driving down and supporting the boys." And one of them, who ended up being the mother of a player, goes, "I would love to drive down here and not just watch my son sit on the bench." Like very confrontational, very just like just right from the get go, she was letting me know that she was unhappy. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, well, if you want to talk about that, we can talk about that separately. I'm not doing that in front of everybody. Which again, if you're a coach and you ever get put on the spot like that, do your damnedest to just go, hey, we can do this in a different venue. Like we can do this in a different way. But I just remember the mom was super upset that she drove 2 hours down um, and her son sat on the bench. I think the whole game. Was it the whole game, Paz, or did we get him in at the end? I think it was the whole game.
He did not play.
Yeah, the whole game. Um, Another thing, if you're a coach out there and a parent wants to have a conversation with you, not the worst idea to maybe have another coach with you, just to kind of make sure that things don't go sideways. Someone in the middle to mediate. But I just remember talking with the mom, and I brought Paz in because he was the head coach at the time, and we just talked about why her son wasn't playing. And the reason it was so uncomfortable for me was, one, it was like my first parent coach. I don't want to say conflict, but maybe that's the right word to use here. But I was also the player's teacher at the time, and the player was about to fail my class. And so that was one of the main reasons why we didn't have him play that day, was because of some classroom stuff, and because he was going to, and he was, I think the next day I put in a project he didn't do. And he was going to have an F in my class, and he knew this. And like, also not to be a jerk, but the kid just wasn't as good as other players. So like there was a little bit of an opportunity to go, hey, do you know I'm your son's math teacher? Because he's going to fail my class tomorrow. And she didn't know that. She had no idea about this project, no idea that that was a thing. And yet, and the other part was like, hey, your son, yes, he is older than a lot of these kids, because I think he was a junior on JV. Hey, yeah, your son may be a junior on JV, but that doesn't automatically means he gets to play. And luckily, Paz took that part over. But yeah, like it was my, what was like my most memorable, or my first one, whatever the question was. But like truthfully, there was a lot to handle in there, and luckily I had Paz to help me out with it. But yeah, it kind of sucks when you fill a parent in on their student athletes' lives. Like, hey, I'm your son's math teacher and he's failing my class. And to like kind of have to fill a parent in on that isn't fun as a coach, but like sometimes you have to have those uncomfortable conversations and deliver those unfortunate messages.
And the worst part about that too is you don't do that to an assistant coach. Don't.
Unless they know
And
the
you
head coach doesn't know Jack.
right, which in this case probably didn't. But yeah, you just don't do that to an assistant coach, especially one that's the teacher. But yes, I when I get to my story, I'll add some more context to that. But Mike, your story.
Yeah, mine's quick because I don't even remember the kids or the parents' name, but I do remember the context that the uh, conversation happened in. It was my first year coaching. That's why I don't remember. So it was
That's
like
crazy.
13, 14. It was like 13, 14 years ago. They didn't play after. So whatever. Um, you'll understand why I'm so indifferent about this kid and his parents here in a second. We, as a team, it was when I was coaching for a travel organization. We were down in Phoenix. Pretty much the whole team was staying at Drury Inn, which anybody who's stayed at a Drury Inn before knows that there's the happy hour where people get free drink tickets, and they do like a meal thing. So I'm down there eating. I'm a 19-year-old kid, and a dad who had taken full advantage of those drink tickets sat down and proceeded to berate me in the dining hall about why their kid should be playing. And me as a 19-year-old kid was not prepared for a man in his mid-40s to sit down and tell me what time it was. And no matter what I said about why his kid wasn't playing, it did not matter because he was drunk. So it was a very awkward conversation to sit there and have in front of not only the other people on the team, but random people in the public. And no matter what I tried to do to get out of there, I just kept feeling more and more cornered. And it was not a great conversation for me to have as a 19, 20-year-old kid. So, yeah, that would be a way not to approach a coach as a parent, I would say. So
That's crazy.
If that guy's listening out there, which I hope he is, you're a bum. Okay, you're a bum. Leave 19-year-old Mikey with a mullet alone, okay? Let him enjoy his Salisbury steak. Go drink your Mai Tais by the pool. God.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't even remember the kid's name. I could probably think of it if I thought hard enough, but I'm like, I don't remember the kid, I don't remember the dad, I truly do not remember who these people are. And it's probably because it was such a traumatic experience that I've just blocked it out from my memory. Like it was an uncomfortable experience, and I'm not too big of a person to admit that like that's one of like the few times in my coaching career like I went back to my room, which I had by myself, and I was like, dude, it hurt a lot. So I don't know, man, like it was not a good experience for me.
Yeah, that's brutal. That's brutal. I don't have anything else to add to that. That's awful. I'm gonna add some context because I had issues with the same family that Strick did the same year, and then on that same team there was another instance. So I'll kind of mix the two together because one of them's a lot quicker than the other one. But after a game, we got back to the school, and I was driving home in my truck, and I start getting phone calls from this number that I do not know. And I'm like, what the heck's going on? And it's like 9:30, like we got back late. Um, and it called me like four times in a row. I'm like, okay, well, this person obviously knows who I am, so I'm going to answer. Very much a mistake. I answered the phone and I got chewed out for about 40 minutes before I could even get a word in. Um, and I didn't handle it well at all because I kind of like Mike, I got blitzed and I had no idea what was coming. And I unfortunately was adding in context to things that I did not need to add context to, and I brought up other players and didn't handle the call well at all. But I was so taken aback by what was happening because the the parent was very much not understanding the situation. Um, and no, no, I can add that. I can add that one too, but yeah, I'm not going to. Um, the parent didn't understand the situation and really didn't have any interest in hearing about it. And at that time, I just didn't know that sometimes the parent's just going to talk and you just need to probably wear it sometimes. And I didn't realize that. And I got chewed out for 40 minutes straight without being able to answer. So that was pretty terrible because I didn't actually go into my home until about 10:30. And my at the time, fiance was like, "Where have you been?" And then I told her, and I was like, kind of a mess. It was not fun. My second one that I'll tell extremely quick is the same person that Strick had problems with. I had to have a meeting with the AD with this family, and I was like, "What is happening?" Like, I had no idea why we were meeting. I really had no idea because I really hadn't heard a ton from them outside of that interaction that Strick brought up. So then I have the meeting, and I was thankfully I handled this one way better because it was just like, "Hey, why is my son not playing?" I told them about the grades, and they had no idea that their son was failing Strick's class, and then also had another bad grade. And um, I will. Our policy that we made with the players was, hey, if you have a D, you're not going to play because for whatever reason, you're allowed to play if you have Ds in Arizona or the two school districts I've worked at. I don't understand that, but we made a rule as a team, and all the players agreed on it. Is like, hey, if you have a D, you're not going to play. So not only did he actually have an F, he also had a D, so the team rule was being violated as well. So I told them that, and then honest to God, she told me he has no failing grades. At the time, I was a counselor, and I double checked right before the meeting just to make sure that I was covering all my bases. And I was like, I'm not trying to argue with you. I just looked them up, and if I'm wrong, that's fine. But that's what I just saw. She then looked them up and goes, "Oh, you're right." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not trying to argue with you." So that was really uncomfortable, but thankfully that meeting actually didn't go that poorly. But those two stick out to me for sure because I'd never had a meeting with an AD before. And then since I'm getting chirped in the chat, I was hated on Facebook by um, multiple people actually. But I had several posts about me on Facebook that other unfortunately players and parents sent me. Um, those thankfully I thought were humorous more than like the actual interactions face to face. But yeah, I had a little bit of a rough go at times in that location. So yeah, those are mine.
I think, I'll be honest, I think the people up here should have been harder on you. I think they let you kind of skate by on some stuff. I think there should have been a few more posts.
The
I
JV
think
year kind of got to me. It got to me.
Yeah, and like again, probably deserved it. But no, yeah. There's a God. I'm gonna bring this up as like a little thing. Just a little thing. Tiny thing. If you're a parent out there who's gonna eventually coach your kid, you gotta learn when just to kind of be hands off. Like when other people are coaching your kid, you got to eventually learn to just go, all right, they aren't like right now I'm just mom or I'm just dad or I'm just uncle, whoever, grandpa, I don't care. But you have to learn that if you're a parent or just anybody in a kid's life and you're going to try to coach over what someone else is doing, especially like in the moment or in the season, you're not doing anybody any favors. Like you're making it hard on the kid. You're making it hard between you and the coach. Like if you want to coach your kid that bad, just pull a Deion Sanders, go coach them wherever they go. Like if that's what you want to do it. But if you're not willing to step up and take on that responsibility, then you need to just kind of take that step back. That'll be my soapbox. I just saw crazy. Hold on.
For every one of these parents we're referring to as well, there is a great one out there that supports you that you'll never know about.
Yeah.
And that's a tough thing to realize. But also there's the Durr family that was fantastic
I was gonna say,
for all of us.
Let's shout out some good parents real quick.
Yeah.
We got the Durrs,
Awesome
the Cheese.
people. Hold on real quick. The Durrs
Cheese.
came to my wedding. Love them to death. They're awesome.
Yep. Langston, shout out some NAU. Yeah, the Cheese.
Real quick, Joel Cheese sent me a message during NASBA that almost made me cry. Just
good guy.
Awesome guy. Yeah.
Langston, hit some NAU parents up. Go ahead, buddy.
Let's go with the Blessums, the Calverts, Ramirez family, Buchanans, the Cook family. We've got a ton of great parents with the Jacks, and it makes our jobs as coaches a lot easier knowing we have that support.
Flores family cooked burritos, made a big, just so much burritos and salsa for the boys last year against U of A. Grandma Flores came out and, all the boys were super appreciative of that. Like, God, if you really think back, isn't it sad that we can have a whole episode on like the kind of negative sides of it, but there are so many more positive parents out there. Like there is by far and away more positive parents that we've had. But it's that whole one bad apple ruins the bunch sort of a thing.
Yeah.
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 Well, I'll say this before we move on to our next topic, which is going to be kind of Paz driven here. Do not downplay the importance of hydration. Okay, everyone out there needs to be hydrated. Everybody out there needs their daily water intake, and there is no better. Okay, there's no better vessel for your hydration than what could be an ad Yeti 26-ounce Rambler with a chug cap. Super convenient, super easy to drink. Got it for Christmas. I mean, real solid. Oh, or an Awala. Okay, Awala is a
Much
pretty good
better.
one too. Built-in straw. Mike, what you drinking out of?
I'm sorry.
Water makes you weak.
Okay, never mind. Could be an ad, but probably won't be. But no, all right. Let's get into our last little bit of this. Paz, what do you
Hold on.
got?
Shout out Coach Boone. Water making you weak. All
Shout out Coach Boone, but also shout out Bobby Boucher, H2O.
Okay.
Go Mud
real
Dogs.
quick, also, I didn't name any families other than the Durs. So the Downs family, back where I grew up. We got the Gannan family was awesome.
Mhm.
We got who else was on? Oh,
Shout out.
the Allens, awesome.
The
Um,
Chirez.
yeah,
Shout out
Chirez,
Ovidio.
awesome. Yeah, really, that whole group there was awesome.
The
And then here,
Woodruffs.
yeah, Woodruff's, yeah. There's a lot of good families, and we're forgetting a bunch
Ton.
for sure.
God, we are. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Oh, the Misers.
Vesley, Misers, yeah, Misers are great. Vesley was good to us,
Yep.
but there's a ton of good families out there, so don't get stuck on the negative all the time. But
Yep.
I am seeing a ton of the 2026 Hall of Fame ballots across my timeline on Twitter. I am someone who, and we can touch on this on Get Hot a little bit as well, for the sake of time, but I hate what the Hall of Fame is. It should be about who the greatest baseball players of all time are, not a popularity contest, which it has turned into because we have idiot writers that never played the game they're voting. So we're going to do our own Hall of Fame ballot for this 2026 ballot. Just for a little bit of context, I can assure you that two of these three ballots there is serious thought into. I'll let you decide what two of those three have had thought in them. So with that being said, Strick, you want to hit us with your ballot? Also, real
Yeah,
quick, just to add a
and
little bit more context. Nope, I'm still talking. You can only have 10 people. Again, two of the three that are serious probably don't have 10 people. Strick, go ahead.
yeah, no, and I want to thank you all for coming to the 2026 Hall of Fame of Vibes voting ballot. Today we're going to be going over the players on this ballot who vibes alone should make the Hall. Starting off with number one, Shin-Soo Choo. Never met the man, but I appreciate what he's done. Number two, Edwin Encarnacion. Little parrot celebration, run around the bases was sick. Vibes are high there. Felix Hernandez, fun vibes. King Felix. I mean, he had his own section. Had his own section when he pitched. That's pretty fun. Vibes are high there. Dustin Pedroia, the Laser Show. You want to talk about vibes also having heart and hustle? Let's get Pedroia on there. I was thinking Hunter Pence, but his pants make me uncomfortable. So we will not be going Hunter Pence. And then the last one on the 2026 Hall of Fame of Vibes voting will be Manny Ramirez. Because Manny will, what did they say? Manny being Manny? Manny is going to be Manny all the way to the Hall of Vibes. So Manny, congratulations. Welcome. Make sure you pick up your red jacket on the way in.
Moving on. So Langston.
Hey, that was pretty good. That was nice.
Wow.
As of again, two of the three are serious. And listeners, you let us know what two of the three you see. So Langston, do you want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
I can go because, as you know, I'm a small hall guy.
Yeah,
and
as
so
it should be.
I have three names on my Hall of Fame ballot.
Okay.
The first two to me are should be shoe-ins. You got Alex Rodriguez. I don't know. I mean, other than the steroid stuff, but I mean, everybody's doing it. I don't think that should be held against someone who was doing it during a time when everybody was doing it. You look at the
Greatest
career
shortstop
stats.
of all
He's a
time, Mike?
I mean, probably, yeah. He probably goes in as a third baseman, but
Yeah.
But I think, you look at it, he's a 3-time MVP, 14-time All-Star, won a couple Gold Gloves, 10-time Silver Slugger, won a batting title, almost 700 home runs. If you're a WAR person, he's got, over 100 WAR, like 117 WAR. Stole over 300 bases, over 3,000 hits. Like, he hits all of the counting stats. He hits all the career milestones. So I think for me, that's a no-brainer. And I think Paz probably for a lot of the same reasons.
Yep.
My next one, Manny Ramirez. Again, 500 home runs, 2,500 hits, a career .312 batting average, which I actually didn't have for him. I didn't know his batting average was so high. 12-time All-Star, 9-time Silver Slugger. He's a World Series MVP. Again, to me, no-brainer. Steroid allegations and everything aside, the guy should be in the Hall. My third one, and I don't know. I mean, I think this guy's probably on Pasley's ballot, but this is my last guy on the ballot. I left a lot of guys off. I've got Chase Utley. If you're a WAR guy, he's racked up like 65 WAR in his career at a position that maybe is a little bit weaker.
Was it that high?
I think that 64.6 career WAR.
Okay.
Nearly 2,000 hits, career .275 batting average, over 250 home runs out of the second base position. 6-time All-Star, 4-time Silver Slugger. I mean, I think you could make the argument that he was a bit of a compiler, but even his year to year, I mean, if you looked at like 162 game averages, I mean, it's an 823 OPS. He's averaging at the second. Again, I think it's important to remember the position these guys played. Like, at the second base position, he's averaging over 20 home runs. I think that the second base position as a whole is it's weak offensively. It historically is a weak offensive position, and he was a very good, very, very good offensive player overall at a position that is weak offensively. And so that's my argument for Chase Utley. I think he's in the upper echelon of offensive second baseman, which to me puts him in the Hall of Fame. I mean, who just got in? A guy like Jeff Kent, right?
Yeah.
I didn't do this before. Give me 2 seconds to pull
Jeff
this
Kent
comparison up.
Jeff Kent clears him,
which is fine. Like, he clears him offensively for sure, right? Chase Utley has 10 more WAR than he does, so defensively, clearly there's something to that there.
Any Gold Gloves for Utley?
No Gold Gloves. When did he play, though? He was 03 to 2018, so
yeah.
I'd have to look and see who was winning Gold Gloves during that time. But second base is such a glove-first position that there was probably just some wizards playing during that time that's all they did. Like, that was their one tool,
Brandon
right?
Phillips would have been there.
Right.
At the time.
People don't talk about like let's think about like currently, right? Like a guy like Ketel Marte. Like, he is a very good defensive second baseman, a well above average defensive second baseman. Nobody talks about it because of the bat. Right?
Ketel
Everyone's
Marte
talking
is
about
better
like
than Chase Utley. Just for the record.
Well, of course, he wears the right uniform. But yeah, so those are my three. I'm gonna leave it at that. I had some guys that were definitely on the cusp for me that I think Paz is gonna gonna hit on. But yeah, those are mine.
So I'm gonna continue to poke holes in Utley real quick. One, I couldn't stand Chase Utley, so that probably is partially where this comes from. But I actually
Yeah,
compared
you probably don't like
Utley.
Kurt Schilling either. You probably think Kurt Schilling
No, I
shouldn't be
love
in the
Kurt.
Hall of Fame. So
I love Kurt. Get him in there. He's no doubt his stats are unbelievable. If you haven't looked at his baseball reference, go have some fun. Chase Utley, I compared him to all of like the no doubt like stud freak second base Hall of Famers. He's nowhere close to those guys. Joe Morgan, Biggio, Sandberg, they're a little closer than that echelon, but he is nowhere close to that tier. To me, those guys are no doubt Hall of Famers. Now, if you compare Utley to like Bill Mazeroski, Red Shandy, like he's better than that tier. However, I don't think those guys should be Hall of Famers. Like, but again, that was back when it was like truly you played defense and you had a bat sometimes. So that's why those kind of guys are in there. And it was a different era, so that too. But I think Utley misses the mark. I think Jeff Kent has a much better case, and that's why I kept Utley off my ballot. If you compare Utley to Jose Altuve, Jose Altuve better be a no doubt Hall of Famer. I could care less about the cheating thing. He's a good player. Utley, nowhere close to Altuve as a player, even. But Utley was very good. Like, I don't want to discredit him completely. He was really good. He was a really good offensive player. He was on some really fun teams: Jimmy Rollins, Ryan Howard, Brad Lidge, Pat the Bat. Like, he was on good teams, and he was a huge contributor. He missed my ballot though because I do think second base is one of those that's misrepresented, but he's just not there for me.
So I don't know. I don't think you're a big WAR guy, but one stat
I'm
that I like
indifferent.
is their best 7 WAR seasons.
Yeah.
Right. So like basically like their top 7.
Yeah.
For second baseman, he's number 12 all time.
Yeah, that doesn't shock me at all.
So the only guys ahead of him: Rogers Hornsby, Eddie Collins, Nap LaHoy, Joe Morgan, Charlie Gehringer, Rod Carew, Robinson Cano, Bobby Grich, who is not in the Hall of Fame, had a 7-year top of 46.4 WAR. Actually, hold on. No, he's number 9. I'm sorry. So you had Rogers Hornsby, Collins, LaHoy, Morgan, Gehringer, Jackie Robinson, Rod Carew, Robinson Cano, Chase Utley.
Yeah.
Chase Utley in his prime is ahead of Ryan Sandberg, Roberto Alomar, Craig Biggio. You know, like, so if you care about WAR and like you want to use that as a measuring stick on whether someone should be in or not, I think he's there. Like, the average of 21 second basemen in the Hall of Fame for their top 7 years, 44.1. He's at almost 50.
Yeah, and I think my issue with that argument with the WAR is that I compared his stats to Alomar, I compared him to Carew, and he's not close, in my opinion, in terms of like counting stats. But if you're gonna have that much WAR, you got
19 years.
Yeah, and Alomar would be
played 19 years.
Yeah, Alomar would be a better.
Okay, let's go to
Utley
Alomar.
played 15. Utley played 15. It's not like
Alomar
that's crazy.
Played 17 years.
That's 2 more than Utley. That's not that crazy.
That's a
lot. Who else is on?
But a lot of plate appearances.
You can't have that much WAR with no Gold Gloves and make the defensive argument. In my opinion, however, Utley was very good, and I do think he has a legitimate case. I just left him off my ballot. So
we also I'm not going to hear about Gold Gloves because Derek Jeter has Gold Gloves. I'm not going to listen to you talk about Gold Gloves and Derek Jeter has Gold Gloves and Chase Utley doesn't. It's a popularity contest.
And Dante Bichette should have Gold Gloves, as you said prior.
Right.
So
it's a popularity contest.
It is.
Because he didn't make the flashy plays that Brandon Phillips made, he didn't win Gold Gloves. Like, I don't think that's a fair argument to make.
That's fair. Chase Utley does have a good
go
case.
ahead.
I just
Sorry.
left him off my ballot. Yeah. No, that was fun banter. I have A-Rod and I have Manny. Those are no doubters. So I'm not going to add any context to that. The two that I think Mike was kind of iffy on that I have in. I think Carlos Beltran does make it, and I think he's going to make it this year. He was at 70% of the vote last year. I think he'll probably get in. I think a big piece of why he hasn't gotten in is because of the cheating scandals last year in Houston, because allegedly he was a big piece of it from everything I've read. But he's got 400 plus homers, 300 plus stolen bases. Um, if you look at his baseball reference, he really doesn't have like that one big flashy year, but he has like 10 just elite consistent seasons. And I think Beltran was a stud. Like, I really do. So I think he would be in there. And I think as a center fielder, when he played center, I think that makes a lot of sense too. The other one that I think is kind of controversial because the peak was really good, but the longevity wasn't there was Andrew Jones. 54 homer season as a center fielder that was, I think, won 10 gold gloves, something crazy, maybe 9 gold gloves. I am a little biased here, though, because I loved Andrew Jones. He was so sick on MVP Baseball 5, like kind of taking that back to my childhood. The thing with Andrew Jones that's interesting is, again, the peak was really good. The longevity wasn't quite there. I think he only played 12 years, and the last like 3 years were not good. But I think for me, with how elite he was defensively and pairing that with the power, I think that's something that wasn't common for center fielders. And he kind of created this new era of like, hey, this center fielder can also bop a little bit. So I would have Andrew Jones in there. I think the two that I'm very different on than maybe what the actual voting will represent, I have K Rod in there, Francisco Rodriguez. I compared him to a lot of closers. He actually, in my opinion, is very I think he's underrated almost. I compared him to Trevor Hoffman, and K Rod had some stuff on Trevor Hoffman that was better. I compared him to Kimbrel, and Kimbrel I think is maybe a slight tier above K Rod. I compared K Rod to Bruce Sutter, Raleigh Fingers, Lee Smith, like a lot of these closers that are in. K Rod is right there, if not better than a lot of those guys. If I remember correctly, he was actually like kind of significantly better than Bruce Sutter. But I have K Rod in there. He's got the saves. I think he's got 400 plus saves. Like that's a crazy number. He has the strikeouts. I think he's in there comfortably for me. I don't think he's going to make it unless maybe like towards the back end of his years on the ballot, maybe he gets some votes. But I don't think the closer position is represented enough, and I think the old guys that are in there aren't as good as K Rod was, in my opinion. And then my last one, and this one might be my hottest take. I actually think Cole Hamels deserves some consideration. Left-handed pitchers are not represented very well in the Hall of Fame. He's better than Andy Pettitte, who was on the ballot. Cole Hamels had a better career than Mark Buehrle, who's on the ballot. CC Sabathia, I think, is the most recent lefty to get in there. CC had 300 or 3,000 strikeouts, though, as a lefty. That was a no-brainer. Cole Hamels has 2,500. Cole Hamels, I believe, is a World Series MVP. I think he has a Cy Young, if I remember correctly. I know he's got a no-hitter. Cole Hamels had a sneaky, really good career. I always knew he was good. He was a really good Cub the back end of his career. He was really good as a Philly. He was a good Ranger. Like Cole Hamels, I think, has a really interesting case. But to me, when you compare him to other left-handed starting pitchers in the Hall of Fame, Cole Hamels is right up there. I don't know if he gets in. I think that might be just kind of a fun pick for me. I believe he should be in. A lefty with 2,500 Ks is no joke. One thing that I think is knocked on him is I don't know that he necessarily has the innings that a lot of these other guys do. Like I know Pettitte kind of cleared him in innings. I think that he had more than Buehrle or it was close, but I think that'll be one knock on him. But I think Cole Hamels is a really interesting case, and that would be my last vote there. But I also, again, I really liked Cole Hamels, so there might be some bias in there, but I think he is a legitimate case. That's my
I can get on board with the center fielders. I think that center field numbers, especially when you're looking at like averages of what guys are in the Hall of Fame, they get skewed
yeah
by guys
yeah
like Mays and Mantle.
Yep.
And so I could get on board with those center fielders.
Yeah.
I am not on board with K-Rod.
Really?
I just, I don't. Let me look
He's
at
better
it again.
than a lot of those old time guys. That was what stuck out to me.
That's fine.
I think
that's fine, but there's probably a lot of old time guys that we wouldn't put in the Hall of Fame. And like, if that's the argument you want to make, then like, I mean, it's a closer with an ERA of almost 3 in his career. And ERA does matter for closers a little bit, right? Like,
and he was lower than a lot of those
ERA
old time
matters.
guys. Yeah.
And like, I don't know, I one of my favorite games to play is looking at the Baseball Reference similarity scores.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna find it real quick. Okay, similarity scores. You have like Craig Kimbrell.
Yep. Who's a Hall of Famer.
Right, but he just has more. Like,
I agree.
Craig Kimbrell, you're looking at a Rookie of the Year.
He's another
you're looking
tier.
at a 9-time All-Star. He's a different guy, right? Career 258.
Yep. Cubs legend
Kenley,
as well.
probably Kenley, probably a Hall of Famer, right?
Probably.
Then you're
are they that
like
different,
Joe
though?
Nath.
I don't think.
I mean, Kenley.
I didn't compare
Kenley's probably more similar, but Kenley is also going to get to 500 saves this year.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, you are on another tier. Craig is at 440, but I think he's just more dominant.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a big relief pitcher guy anyway, and so maybe that's my thing.
Yeah.
That's probably
That's
just
fair.
a bias I have where I just don't care that much about relievers. And
That's fair.
I think that the game is now being skewed where like relievers in general don't like it. It's just weird. You're getting like we're getting into this weird thing with the way pitching's going. Guys don't go deep in games. I think it's going to affect starting pitcher Hall of Fame voting in the future because guys just aren't going to have the innings, even though they're super dominant. Like a guy like DeGrom, right? Like, he had a ton of injuries, right? But he's probably the most dominant pitcher I've ever seen. And if people just look at the numbers, they're going to go, he doesn't have the innings, he's not getting in. I'm like, well, the dude's a multiple time, like, he's a beast and has been a beast. Hamels, I'm fine with. For the most part, I think he'd be on the lower end. I think if you're looking at, I think if you're going to put Hamels in,
there's just not many left-handed starters in there. No. Pettit had almost a 4 ERA.
I think if Hamels goes in, Pettit goes in. I think that's the way that is. I mean, I think that if Hamels goes in, like you have guys that just compiled that are going to get in. I mean, Hamels is like a 3.5.
3.46, I think it was.
Okay. And Pettit had pitched 100 more games.
Yep.
5-time World Series champ.
Yeah. But that doesn't mean baseball's too much of a team sport for me to care about that.
So then is Mark Burley more deserving to be in the Hall of Fame than Andy Pettit because he has a lower career ERA?
No, I don't think Mark Burley's off, or I think he's Hall of really good.
See, but
I don't think he doesn't have the strikeouts. Like, he doesn't have the. I don't think he's got the strikeouts either. I think he was lower than both those guys.
Mark Burley has the exact same career WAR as Cole Hamels. 5-time All-Star to Hamels 4.
Did Burley pitch longer?
4-time Gold Glove winner. Same amount of years, it looks like.
Was it?
Similar amount of years, but he must have just been healthier.
Yeah.
I mean, shoot, dude, I'm looking at Burley's page, and he went basically 15 straight years of 200 innings pitched. He came up at 21 and threw 51 innings. And after that, his lowest career innings pitched was in his last season in Toronto at 36 when he threw 198 2/3 innings.
Yeah,
It's 15
and I'll
years
be
straight of 200 innings.
yeah.
I mean, like,
I almost had Burley and Hamels though over Pettit for me.
I think if you're putting Hamels in, then both those guys go in. That's me. That's just me.
Yeah,
I
but left-handed pitcher's tricky because there's just not very many of them, and I
Mhm.
don't know like who's coming. Like if you look at John Lester, I don't think John Lester gets in, but he was great for a long time. And also a Cubs legend, which matters. But I don't know that he gets in. Like I don't know how many more lefties that are coming to the ballot in the future are actually going to get serious consideration. I don't know if that's necessarily a problem, but it's kind of interesting to see because we're never going to see a lefty get 3,000 Ks again. CC's the last one because guys don't get the innings anymore. CC probably had years where he threw like 250 innings with the Brewers because that year he carried them to the postseason. Like he threw every third day, something insane. Like
Garrett
I don't know
Crochet's
how
pretty
many.
young.
What's the most innings he's ever thrown? And I love Crochet, by the way. This
He
isn't Crochet slander.
He went high.
I know he
this
threw a
year.
lot this
He was
year.
high this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
As much as I love we're getting into Crochet stuff, we might have to save a little bit of this for Get Hot. So let's
Just hold on a minute. He threw
Oh,
205 innings this year.
I'm the one who
Yeah.
has to edit this. No hold on a minute.
255 strikeouts.
We got another 20 minutes in. Yeah, and Crochet is really good. I worry with him with the first 3 years he was a reliever and he had the injury, or first 2 years he was a reliever. I just wonder if that hurts him. But I know the strikeout numbers are insane. But I have the same worry as you, where guys aren't going deep. Like, how long are the Red Sox going to let him do that and fear for his health? That's my worry. Like, is Chris Sale close to 3,000? He would be the next maybe
He's gotta be.
obvious guy. I mean, yeah, he struck out. I mean, he had insane seasons, but he's almost probably
Chris
to retire.
Sale's
He's probably got a year left,
Chris Sale's at almost 2,600 strikeouts.
so he's probably not going to get there.
If he pitches till he's 40, which he might.
Yeah. But it's interesting. The left-handed starting pitcher conversation's interesting to me, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's
All
my
right,
ballot.
Shrek,
Any other
go ahead
thoughts?
and wrap it up.
Okay, so
Dear
real quick,
God.
Tarek Skubal. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
No, I was just
Oh
going to
no,
say.
Justin Steele, the pride of Loosedale. Go ahead.
You want to throw one more lefty out there just real quick?
Eduardo Rodriguez.
Yeah, sure.
There we go.
Jordan Montgomery, he was Snake's legend.
Mm,
Sorry,
True.
He was
Snake's
something.
legend. Snake's legend. Hell yeah, Jordan Montgomery. No, so that was Get Hot. We appreciate you guys tuning in for 2 episodes of the Hey Coach podcast. This is now officially our longest episode, I think. 123? Is 123 our longest? What's our longest?
No.
128?
I don't know. It's not this one though.
Let's see.
Well, it might be after
119,
you look this stuff up.
120, 110.
Plus, people are going to be bored.
Yeah.
Anyway.
By a minute. Our longest episode was our first one at let's see.
All right, dude, let's go.
stalling.
No, I sat here with you guys. You guys can sit here with me. Our longest episode was 1 hour and 22 minutes. So yeah, there we go. Beat it.
We'll cut this.
Nah, we won't. If you're interested in buying any of these cards, you can find them on M&T Collectibles on Whatnot. Make sure to visit M&T Collectibles on Whatnot for all your Grail needs.
Yes. If anybody wants a
unofficial
Pat
sponsor.
Tillman, if anybody wants a Pat Tillman, come get it. That's a
unofficial
$9
sponsor.
right there.
Unofficial sponsor of the Hey Coach podcast. But no, we're going to plan on actually banking a bunch of episodes, I think this week, and by a bunch I mean maybe 2 or 3. So we'll be on the lookout for those. Langston, where can people find us on the social medias?
Oh, find us on Instagram
Oh,
at I think it's the Hey Coach Pod.
I think it is.
And then you can find us on YouTube as well.
Yes.
You can follow all our personal socials too if you want. At Coach Langston 24, at Coach Strick 4. Pasley doesn't have any. I guess he has Twitter, but that's at Coach Paz 10. I know it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, find us there. Give us a follow.
Wrong. Not Coach Paz 10. Don't find me. Nope.
Yeah, TPAS 10.
Don't stop.
And so that's where you can find us on our socials. Paz, when do these episodes get posted?
Every Wednesday, baby.
Unless it's Get Hot.
That's right.
Unless it's Get Hot
on Fridays. Yeah. I love this quiz.
What time are they posted? Yeah.
They are posted on Wednesday. Yep. You're at 7 a.m. on Wednesday.
There we go. There we go. And you can find all that information.
Don't watch the YouTube.
You can find all that information on Instagram, on our pinned post, all that posting information. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it for episode 16. And actually, we're getting close to our 20th episode special, where Coach Paz will be live streaming his attempt at breaking the Dance Dance Revolution record in 9-inch heels. So we all look forward to that, Paz. Good luck on that endeavor, and we wish you nothing but the best.
Okay. Go Jacks. Love you.